If you wish to understand the universe, think of energy, frequency, and vibration. This is a quote from Nikola Tesla. And Nikola Tesla knew them all very well. And that is how he could come up with his many creative inventions. Nikola Tesla is the third in our list of great inventors, scientists, and architects. He was born July 10th, 1856 in Croatia, which is part of Europe. And his mother was an extremely creative person. She came up with ideas for making things work better in the home. And she was great at doing that. His dad was a Greek Orthodox priest. Early on, he showed signs that he would be inventive like his mother. In grade school, he came up with something called a bug propeller using real live bugs. And when he was still going to school, he was walking with a friend, and then he stopped for a second, and with a stick he drew a diagram in the sand explaining to his friend the principle of the induction motor, or induced current flow using magnetic fields. And that is the motor below, and we use that in our household appliances all the time. It has a north and a south magnet, and the metal moves between there. You can see the coils there as well. So he had a great interest in energy. And he said to harness the energies of nature is to be of service to man. He immigrated to the United States in 1884, and because of the great work he had done in his native town area, he went to work for Thomas Edison. And in 1885, after working with him for about a year, Tesla claimed that he could redesign Edison's inefficient motors and generators that he sold, making an improvement in both service and economy. And according to Tesla, Edison remarked, "There's $50,000 in it for you if you can do it." And he basically did it. And then Edison said, "That was an American joke. You didn't understand English. I didn't really mean that." But basically, Tesla proposed he developed a company of his own. He basically quit working for Thomas Edison after he reneged on that, and he started his own company. And he proposed that the company develop his idea for alternating current instead of direct current, transmission systems and motors. And the investors unfortunately disagreed with him and eventually fired him from doing that, and it left him penniless. And so he was forced to work as a ditch digger in the U.S. for $2 a day during the winter of 86-87. And here is a guy that had come up with an idea that changed the way our grid, changed the way the motors are, and are even the power that we plug into today. In the late 1880s, George Westinghouse and Thomas Edison became adversaries due to Edison's promotion of direct current, and Westinghouse had Tesla working for him to create devices using alternating current. So it really had to do with money. Thomas Edison had a great investment in direct current, and all of his products use that. So if he lost out, that would cost him a lot of money. In 1893, they decided to put a generating station to make electricity on Niagara Falls. And the project was awarded to Westinghouse. And they rejected General Electric, which was Edison's company, and they would generate then electricity using alternating current. And some doubted that the system would generate enough electricity to even light up Buffalo, a small city nearby. But Tesla was sure it would work. He said that Niagara Falls could power the entire eastern United States. And when finished, one little leg or tunnel of his generating plant produced 75 megawatts of electricity, and none of the previous direct current projects were on that scale of power. So he changed the way we plug in today. unfortunately, he really didn't care about money. His happiness came from inventing things. That was his big thrill, to come up with an idea and then see it made. In a way, he was like Leonardo da Vinci, who also would think or get divine inspiration, so to speak, and then come up with ideas. And they had a similar way of coming up with ideas. He came up with an idea called the Wardenclyffe Tower, and it went under the name of Tesla Tower as well. But this is in 1901, 1917. And he got money from J.P. Morgan to build this tower. And then when J.P. Morgan actually understood what he was up to, and that he had no way to charge people to use this or make money from it, J.P. Morgan pulled his money. But what he was trying to do is he was intending for commercial transatlantic wireless communications and broadcasting. He was into radio also, or radio frequencies, and to show that you could do it wirelessly. And if he had been successful, we would have had the internet a lot sooner than we did. Tesla had over 200 patents, and here are the top 10 inventions that changed the world. Number one is his alternating current. Number two is harnessing and distribution of light. He created X-rays. You might think Marconi created the radio, but from the works that we have, written works and his notebooks, we found that basically Tesla did it years earlier. He came up with remote control. He developed the electric motor, and now there's Tesla Motor Company that makes cars with electric motors. He came up with robotics, or robots doing things. He came up with lasers, and when he spoke of the laser, he said that it could be used for good or bad, and that kind of got him the attention of the FBI and the government. And he also, 9 and 10 is wireless communications and limitless free energy. He has a cult following now, and it's getting bigger and bigger because his writings and notebook information is on the web. And the more people read about him, the more they are amazed at what he came up with. So he was very futuristic, very much like Leonardo da Vinci was as well. Nikola Tesla and Mark Twain, the author, were great friends, which just seems strange to me, but all these were contemporary. The Westinghouse, the Edison, and everybody lived in the same time period. And he only slept 2 to 3 hours a night, and I'm sure it's because he could not stop his mind from working. It just went all the time. He said, ere many generations pass, our machinery will be driven by a power obtainable at any point of the universe. Throughout space, there is energy. He came up with the device that anybody could make power, free power. And of course, the energy companies don't like that, but that's going around on the internet right now. So if you, this is such an interesting gentleman that you definitely need to research him a little bit on the internet and find some of the things that people are talking about with him. But he died penniless and alone in room 3327 of the New Yorker Hotel. And he felt like his only friend in the world was a pigeon in Central Park, a white pigeon that he would go see every day. So all the wonderful things, he died without being recognized or anybody recognizing him for the genius that he was. Right after he died, the FBI rushed to the hotel and collected all of his notes and anything related to his inventions, and they kept it under lock and key. They gave it to the military after a while, and now I think it's all been let so that it's free for anybody to see it, and they sent it back to his native Croatia. And Croatia now has his home, or his birth home, as a monument to him and to his work, and we have monuments and things to his work, but it's a sad thing that he died without knowing that people knew of his genius and thought of him as a amazing person. So I guess if you think about him, some of the things that you could learn from Tesla is have faith in your abilities. Like the Thomas Edison and a lot of people were putting him down and saying that his circuits would never work and his power system, and he was crazy, and all kinds of things, and so that they could get the bid. And he knew that it would work, and Westinghouse had faith in him, and he was right. And also, you could learn when others say negative things about you, it might be because you intimidate them, because you, like Tesla, everyone was intimidated by him. He could come up with amazing ideas that would, help with some problem they were having, fill a function, or things that they never even thought they needed. And so he was very futuristic. And so you might say he would say, go for it in spite of opposition and make a difference anyway, because he had a lot of opposition in his life. A lot of people stole his ideas. This is part of our series to try to get you enthusiastic about our National CAD contests coming up. We have one for SolidWorks called Design Something, Make a Difference using SolidWorks. And we have a repeat of our Lead Dream Home contest using ArchiCAD. They start right after the winter break and end on the last day of February 2014. Winners receive tablets and notebooks, so it's worth it to join. It's worth it to come up with an idea. And as we've said in another video, even a rubber band helps people. And so if you want to make a difference, it doesn't have to be a big thing. And another thing is to start learning SolidWorks and ArchiCAD now. And we have a instructor portal that has step-by-step tutorials that will help you learn that, because you need to know the software pretty well so that you can make it do what you need it to do. And I leave you with the final quote of Tesla. He said, "I don't care that they stole my ideas. I care that they don't have any ideas of their own." So let's hope that we will come up with some ideas on our own and be brilliant on our own. Again, a very, very interesting gentleman, and we're just getting to know him now, and there's a lot of people that follow him. So hopefully you'll do a little research on this great guy. Thank you for listening.